Hello. Today I'm very happy to welcome for the second time in a row Miss Dawna Lee Heising. She's an actress, producer, a star of genre films in the United States and renowned internationally. How are you, Dawna? Thank you very much for accepting to come back again on our channel.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. I'm very honored to be here.
Dana, you remember 2 years ago we had you live and you spoke about many of your past projects. Since you began, you have been in the entertainment industry for
Uh-huh.
many years. And right now, I want to ask you, first of all, like a global question. You've been in a lot of films, I mean, horror, comedy, action, science fiction, and you've been around since the 80s. Of course, we know that
Hmm.
a lot of changes have happened in the entertainment industry. Tell me, when you receive right now scripts, are there quality scripts like the one you received before 10 years, 20 years ago? What can you tell us about the quality of the writing right now in film production?
Well, as you know, I started on Blade Runner, but and I started in huge projects which were major films, but I had small roles in them. So obviously those scripts were quality and they were quality films, but I was a dancer in Blade Runner. And I had small roles I was Cleo the Snake Dancer. I think we talked about it in Magnum PI, which was just a wonderful experience. But
Of
and then
course. Hmm.
I left for about 10 years to be a vice president of marketing in technology companies. And that's where I learned my public relations skills, which I use today. But when I came back to the business a little more than 10 years ago, things had changed completely. Like anyone with a digital camera could make a film. And so um, I did in the beginning, I did everything I was offered because I wanted to get used to being on the set again. Um, and I just wanted to, I wanted to find my way into the business. But the last 3 years have been, maybe 4 years, have been completely different for me. I've made a great effort to improve my acting skills and to improve the projects that I act in. First of all, I train with Matthew Arkin at South Coast Rep, and he's Alan Arkin's son. And then I trained with Carol Foreman um, on Shakespeare, and she's a Shakespearean expert. So, and I did Lady Macbeth's monologue, and then I did Hamlet, a monologue from Hamlet, actually for a comedy film because Hamlet's male. But I learned a lot from doing those projects, and a big change in my career is being with Diana Carter, who's my agent and my public relations manager and my manager. She's incredible, and she handles Daniel Baldwin and um, Nicholas Turturro and huge stars. So since I've been working with Diana for the last year, the quality of the scripts and um, the films has just gone up tremendously. And that's what I want to do. I want to work on quality projects now with name people. Um, because we work so hard in this industry, uh, you want the films that you do to make a difference. And I, as you know from our last interview, I've been in the public eye for so long. I've, as you know, I've won over 100 contests. So I'm not in this for publicity. I'm in this to become the best actress that I can be. And so
Of
I am
course.
trying to do quality projects now.
Great. Dawna, since we spoke last time, you spoke to me about your role in Paradise Motel,
Yes.
and after this film, it was a feature film, of course. You starred in not only feature films, but you did some shorts as well recently.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your recent shorts?
Well, actually, I'm really excited. I've done a number of music videos over the years, and they're some of my favorites because they're just so fun to work on, and I love music and I'm a dancer. So I did this wonderful music video called Black City Nights, and it was by Always You, and it was directed by Nathan Castile, and the director of cinematography was Justin McWilliams. And if I don't say so myself, the music video is absolutely beautiful. It's won about, I would say, almost 50 awards now. I've been submitting it for the last year, and it's the one thing that I've been in that I know is always going to win an award because it's just such a quality production. Nathan and his crew were all USC graduates, and as you know, they have a wonderful film school. So I just thank God that I was cast in that music video. And then there's another film. Well, Paradise Motel was a wonderful project too. That I've been working on SAG projects for the last 2 years, and that's what I want to do. I mean, because pretty much if something is SAG, you know that you're pretty sure that it's going to be quality. In this business, there's always a question about funding and getting the right amount of funds to make the type of film that you want. But with Walter, it was a SAG film, and he paid us a lot. I'll say,
Yes.
and I'm very grateful to Walter for casting me in that film. I've won 4 Best Actress awards for the film, and the film has won tons of Best Feature Film awards. So it's a
Yes.
film I'm really proud to be in, and Walter is planning a sequel. I think we're going to shoot it in November. So
Excellent.
that's going to be very exciting. But a film that I am really, really excited. Well, and also, let me say that Diana, my agent, has just been so wonderful to me. I did PTSD, A Soldier's Revenge, with her last year, and it starred a great actor named Robert Lasardo, Oksana Lara, Tom Sizemore, and Daniel Baldwin. And that's a short film, and it should be coming out soon. I'm going to be in a film called Vampire with Diana, and also I am really excited that I am going to be playing the goddess Athena in her film Deuce, which will be filmed in Thailand. So that's something that's going to be happening next year, and I'm just so honored and blessed to be with Diana and to have her trust me so much with these wonderful roles. And actually, on September 18th, I'm flying back to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the premiere of a series I did back there. And it's a hilarious miniseries called Recipes for Love. And it was written by Teresa Warwick, who's a fantastic writer. And it's so funny. And so we're going to have a huge premiere in Philadelphia. I don't normally fly across the country to attend premieres, but this one is this one's very special. So, and I play Ms. Fairchild in Recipes for Love, and she's a recurring character. So I'm going to be returning for the next season, and I'm just really excited about that. So Diana, keeps me very, very busy with quality projects.
Of
But
course.
right now, we just released to film festivals, not to the general public, but we just released a short film called Down and Out in Vampire Hills. And I am so proud of this film. It's a film that I did with my friends, but my friends are all professionals in the film business, and they live in Huntington Beach with me. My best friend is Dr. Rena Wolzinger, and she's an executive with a with a major virtual reality company. She's also the producer of my show Ion Entertainment, and so she and her husband Keith composed the original score for Down and Out in Vampire Hills, and it's in Grammy consideration right now. So I'm so excited about that. We've applied to the San Diego Comic-Con, and we're hoping to have a panel there. The film was written by Dr. Heather Joseph Witham, who is Rena's sister, but she happens to be a professor, and she's a vampire expert. In fact, she's doing a documentary I think it's in New Orleans right now as we speak. And so she wrote this hilarious script. It's a Down and Out in Vampire Hills is a horror comedy, but it has just exceeded all of our expectations. And I expected a lot because of the people I was working with. The director and the editor is Craig Railsback, who's become one of my best friends. He directed Dark Classics for me, which was my Lady Macbeth monologue. And that's one, if I don't say so myself, it's won tons of awards. He directed Fireside Classics for me, and that was the Hamlet monologue. And Craig is an amazing, amazing director and cinematographer. And he's such a perfectionist that I know to have him finally release this film, I know that it's great. I haven't seen it yet. I want to wait till it premieres at a major film festival. I've put it into all of the major local film festivals, and it's only been released for a few days. So we'll see what happens. But and also Craig is Steve Railsback's nephew. And you might know who Steve Railsback is. He played Manson. He was in Barbed Wire with Pamela Anderson.
Yes.
Everything. But Craig is an excellent filmmaker, but he's also an American Airlines pilot. So we've been working on this film for 1.5 years. It's been a labor of love, and we've been doing it on weekends, and I've been getting my friends involved. And, luckily my friends are all professional actors. LeJean Stewart, Bill Housekeeper, Debbie Dutch, Ken May, who is one of the stars of the film. And we just got a wonderful review today from one of my favorite reviewers, World Film Geek. And I hope that everyone will read this review. He gave our film an A-. And I'm so excited about that. I just can't wait till everyone sees this film. I've gone all out in the film festivals that I've submitted it to. We're hoping for the best with the Grammys, and we're planning on showing at the Comic-Con to premiere it. And so that's a film I'm really excited about. The trailer is released. It's only a minute and a half, but it's released, and it's on my Facebook page. And so, I mean, that is, to me, it's really, really exciting. And then one other film that I do want to talk about, because it's very special to my heart, as is Down and Out in Vampire Hills. It's a film called The Rose Wagon by Sandy Slavin. And I filmed that in Indiana last December. And I spent 3 weeks in Indiana filming The Rose Wagon. It's a SAG film, but we're still finishing it. In fact, Craig and his son Liam and I filmed, and Rena filmed a new scene for the ending of The Rose Wagon, which Craig says came out really great. I haven't seen it yet, but I can't wait to send it to Sandy. And The Rose Wagon, the director of photography is named Christian Griffith, and he is just so amazing. The original director, Christopher Michael Gatros, is a great director, and I worked with him in his film Live, Laugh, Die. But he developed gout during the filming, and so Christian kind of had to take over certain scenes, and Christian filmed one scene that I'm in, and he sent it to me, and I looked at that scene, and it has Xander Nicholson, who plays my grandson. It has Johnny Shandor, who's the star of the film, and who plays my granddaughter. And it has other people from the cast in the scene, but it's a scene about me talking to my son, who is played by Peyton Clark. And the scene is shot so beautifully that as soon as I saw the scene, I knew that it was special. And so I did something that I've never done before. I put it into film festivals as just a scene from the film or as a trailer. And it's won about 30 awards so far. So that shows you the quality of the film. And I just can't wait till everyone can see the film when it's finished.
Of course. Dawna, you mentioned Eye on Entertainment, and you've been doing the show right now for more than 15 years. Do you go back to shoot more right now, interviews and red carpet, or you're busy with your acting career?
Well, it's like I'm working nonstop, so I'm pretty busy with my acting career. In fact, for the first time in my life, I've had to turn jobs down. I turned down a music video because I just didn't have time. And for me, I'm a workaholic, so for me to turn anything down is unheard of. But this is our 17th year, actually. And I love the show. It's still in existence. But in order for me to interview people, I need Rena to set it up, because she's the technical genius who sets it up in Zoom. And she got her job as a top executive with this virtual reality company. So the only time that we can do the show is like on weekend mornings. And I have just been filming nonstop across the country. So we haven't really, I put up short videos, that I can film myself, or, I put up things like my demo reel, or I do behind the scenes shows that I can shoot myself. But we haven't done a major interview with anyone for a few months because Rena's busy with her day job, which is incredibly important. And then, also, as I told you, Rena is in Grammy contention for Down and Out in Vampire Hills for the original score. So Rena's also a musician. So she's been busy she and Craig have been so busy for the last year and a half on Down and Out in Vampire Hills. And I think once everyone sees the film, they'll see how much work went into it. It was just really a labor of love for all of us. So I do plan, I mainly use the show to publicize the films that I'm in. And I do plan on doing interviews again as soon as Rena can fit me into her schedule. So,
Of course. Yes. Dawna, I want to ask you about something. Um, you know, running through your filmography, how many films you did, and you work beside acting in many things, off camera and in front of the camera. But right now, do you have a certain dream role or a dream story you would like to realize yourself, to perform, or to write it yourself, or to producing something you dream of?
well, the films that I do myself, I always produce them. And it's mainly along with Craig and Rena. And I trust Craig and Rena with doing the heavy lifting because they're pros. Craig is the head of Railsback Productions, which is a professional movie company. And then Rena is the head of Ren Zone Music. So I know that anything I work on with Craig and Rena is going to be fantastic. So I executive produce it because I have a lot of contacts in the industry. And because I have so many friends that I do the casting, and I kind of serve as a line producer. I've been getting locations, but also Craig and Rena do it. And then a lot of times Rena has this huge house, 2 streets down from me. So we shoot at Rena's house a lot. But I would say that my dream role is one that I already have. It's playing the goddess Athena in Diana Carter's Deuce, which will be filmed in Thailand. And what better role can you ask for? I mean, it's a lead role. It's a goddess. She's the goddess of wisdom. And Diana doesn't do anything halfway. Diana is dedicated to quality, and I just thank God that I'm working with her, because I know now that I'm going to reach the goals that I've set for myself in this industry. You know, I started out doing huge productions. I started out doing small roles on major productions and on network TV. And my goal now is to work with major stars on streaming stations or on the 3 networks, and to get back to that. I mean, I think I've reached my goals in indie productions because I've worked with stars. And well, if you look at my IMDb, I've won like over 260 awards for the different films that I've been in. So I've pretty much reached my goals in the indie film category. But that's not saying, I mean, I do want to work with stars, and I do want to have lead roles in more indie films. But
Of
my
course.
major goal is to get back to like Netflix and Amazon Prime. And, there's so many streaming stations that just to get back there.
Of
I mean,
course.
Ion Entertainment was on Amazon Prime for 2 years, and then all of a sudden it's like Amazon Prime removed all of the shows, but they refused to take Ion Entertainment down. So if you search on Amazon Prime, Ion Entertainment is still listed there, but there are no shows attached. So I mean,
Yes.
it doesn't make sense.
Yes, but Dawna, I want to ask you maybe some kind of personal question. Sometimes, I love science fiction and horror films myself, and sometimes when I see a movie with my wife, and then we go to sleep, You know, my wife told me I was dreaming of this movie. I was dreaming of Freddy or Jason, you know, and stuff like that. You know, why you put for us horror films before we go to sleep, you know, but it's fun, of course. But I want to ask you, since you did a lot of genre films, did you know any scene or any character haunted you after you did the scene, you know, after you go home and you finish the shooting, you know, personally?
You know, I am a method actress, so I do a lot of research on my characters, and I do a background on each character that I do, and I try to become that character when I'm filming. But I played a lot of evil characters. Like one of my favorite scenes is Dustin Ferguson's Nemesis 5. Um, and that I did that scene with Mel Novak. Um, I did a scene that I really love with Dustin in Bubba's Dead, The Final Massacre, and I play the head of the evil family. You know, so I've played that character 3 times, and I'm not going to tell you what I do at the end, but it's a pretty incredible scene. It's on my YouTube channel under Ion
Yes,
Entertainment. You can find it. I
of
think
course.
that was a major scene to do, but it didn't affect me afterwards because she's so evil. It's not me. One scene that I think has affect, or 2 scenes that I think have affected me are 2 scenes from the Rose Wagon. I play a mother who is very, very controlling, and she smothers her kids. And it's a family-friendly, SAG, you know, Christian film, but
Of course.
um, I have to cry over my son. And that's one of the scenes that Craig and I filmed just 2 days ago. I haven't seen the scene yet, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing because everything Craig does is amazing. But, you know, I'm really, my family is the most important thing to me. And when I have to dig deep and I have to cry over something happening to my family, then it does affect me. I mean, because when I cry, I'm really crying. Because you can't fake crying, you know. I mean, I watch all these true crime shows, and the way they can tell that people are lying is because there are no tears, you know, because everyone says they're innocent. I really cry when I have to cry, and so I have to really dig deep. And the 2 scenes from the Rose Wagon did affect me afterwards, but not in a bad way, just in a connection to how much I love my family.
Yes, yes. Great, Dawna. I want to thank you very, very much for this lovely interview. I'm very happy about your success and your upcoming projects. Looking forward to see them all, you know.
Well,
And
thank
best
you.
wishes in your upcoming shooting. You'll be traveling across the United States and also to Thailand. This is very exotic.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, actually, can I
yeah,
mention one more film?
of
Um,
course.
I'm really excited about shooting Marlene Fields. Who's going to take care of me? I mean, I have a small role in it as a doctor, which is great, you know. But what I'm really excited about is that I got all of my grandchildren into it, and I have 5 grandchildren. I have Emmy, Maya, Mason, Jackson, and Danny. And Danny is 3 years old. And I didn't really want to involve my family in my career because, as you know, my daughter's a psychiatrist. My other daughter is like a top salesperson for pharmaceutical companies. And so I didn't really want to get my grandchildren into the business, but Marnine had a really hard time finding a child who looked like her at 3 years old. And I looked at the picture, and it looked just like my granddaughter, Danny, who is 3. So Danny is playing Marnine at 3 years old. Her brothers, Mason and Jackson, are going to be playing nice children I think in a church. I'm not sure, but they have scenes of their own. And then my older granddaughters, Maya and Emmy Halo, and Emmy just had a birthday. She just turned 13. Maya is 11. They're going to be playing compassionate children in a shelter. And this is a SAG film. It's a SAG family-friendly film. It's got a cast of over 100. So I'm really, really excited about that. Danny's going to be filming her scene on the beach on October 8th. And she's going to be spending the night with me, and I'm going to be taking her to the scene. So to me, that's really exciting because I do, I love horror. It's been really good to me. But my favorite genre actually is comedy, which Down and Out in Vampire Hills is a horror comedy. But I also love family films because the most important thing to me is family. So anyway, that film's very important to me.
Of course. This is great, Dawna. I look forward to see it as well. And I hope next year we can come to one of your films premiere in the United States as well.
Well, actually, I would, if it's okay, I have your email address. So I'm going to send you a copy of Down and Out in Vampire Hills. But it's not released to the public yet. So this is just for you to see. Okay?
With pleasure. I've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailer on the Internet Movie Database, and the photos. It sounds very, very nice, funny genre films,
Well, please let me know what you think, and I'll send it to you right after this interview.
Of course. With great pleasure, Dawna. Thank you very much. Enjoy your success. Hello to all your family members. And I look forward for another interview about your new work in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, I'll come back after I do Dukes, because I'm sure that I'll have tons to talk about with that.
Of course. Thank you very much, Dawna.
Okay.
Have a lovely evening.
Okay,
Take
bye,
care.
everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.